Hello again everyone. I'd like to show you a new recipe that I'm doing here in the shop this last few weeks. It's a hog roast stuffed pork fillet wrapped in streaky bacon, and that's glazed with lemon and green pepper marinade. So I'll talk you through the ingredients that you need if you'd like to try this at home. Obviously pork fillet, these are about 700 grams untrimmed, but whatever size that you'd like, there's probably enough to do by the time this is done 3 healthy appetites, maybe 4 off a whole piece, so you can just adjust your quantities. I've got 500 grams of hog roast sausage, which is a pork sausage blended with sage, red onion and apple. If you can't get something like that, or and you'd like to try it yourself, you could just get a plain pork sausage and add the ingredients yourself. You could just shred up some sage leaves, dice some red onion, add a little bit of applesauce, something like that. It's going to work just as well. So you'll need, for one of those, you probably need about 150 grams, something like that, for one pork fillet. Also, I've got 2 kilos of streaky bacon, which is way more than I'll need for these 4, but I'll be doing a lot more of these off camera. So per pork fillet, you probably need about 6 or 7 rashers of a dry cured, good quality streaky bacon. Also got a nice quality applesauce for a garnish, some thyme also for a garnish, and then lemon and green pepper marinade. It's just an oil-based marinade. You could make your own, blend your own, have a look around, see if you could find one. This is rapeseed based, very high quality, and that seasons everything up perfectly. So I think I'll bring you down close so you can see how I like to trim these up. Maybe give it a go yourself. Okay guys, I'll show you how I like to trim my pork fillets up. Obviously there's hundreds of ways to do this, and if you've got your own way, absolutely fine. You could trim these, if this is the head of the fillet and it tapers down towards the tail, this is where the rump steak, or if you're from the States, the sirloin would sit, and you're moving down porterhouse towards the rib of the beast. So what I like to do is always work from the head to the tail when you're taking off this silver skin. You need to take this off because that won't break down when cooking. I also like to take this chain muscle off, which is extremely easy. It's just a natural line. You just run your knife straight through it, take that off. If you can buy these pre-trimmed, all the better. Obviously we've got an outlet for the trimmings working in a butcher shop. We can turn them into sausage or anything like that, but you could use them for a sauce, or making a gravy, something like that, or make your own sausage at home. I'm sure I could do a video on that at some point. So with this head, I like to just loosen off this piece here, and then that exposes the end of this silver skin. I can just cut that straight off, and I like to cut these down to this size anyway because it fits our display trays pretty much spot on. I'll take off any nasty looking fat, and then I'm just going to cut down onto that silver skin ever so gently, and just use the knife almost like filleting a fish. You'll see that come off nice and clean, that silver skin there. Flip it over. If you miss anything, not a problem, you can just scrape it back. Just look, and when you're happy, as I am there, that looks all right. What I do is I'll flip it so that you'll notice one side slants away from you. I like to work into that side, and we're just going to butterfly this open by cutting with a knife relatively flat. I'm hoping you can see from that angle, relatively flat, and then folding over. And if you make a little nick through it, really not the end of the world. If you make a little tear in the pork, it's really not a problem because you're going to wrap it all in streaky bacon anyway. So that's it. It doesn't need to be mega thin. It only needs to be butterflied out, maybe the palm of your hand, something like that. So now I've got my 2 hog roast sausages. I'll just take the skins off those. get rid of those. Oops. There we go. And then nothing complicated here. Just mush them together into a relatively uniform shape, just so they cook evenly. Just like that. And then from there, this end, just bring it over, get it nice and tight. You can see it's relatively uniform shape, great for cooking there. So next thing, we're just going to lay out our rashers of streaky bacon. And I think we'll need about 6, possibly, of these. And just try and match them up fairly even. They'll stretch out a bit. You want them long enough to go all the way around, so don't be frightened to give them a little bit of a stretch. You might actually need 7 of these. They're quite thin. Well, maybe 6 is going to be okay. Right, so once they're, give them a stretch out with a knife, get them all pressed uniformly together. It should be nice and thin now, because we have stretched them out. Offer up the pork fillet about 1/3 of the way in, then you can use your knife. Just start this off, like so, and then you can pull against it, because this sort of pressed down into the block, or your cutting table, and give this a nice tight roll, just like that. We maybe could have put one more on the end. Might have looked a little bit better, but I mean that's not bad at all. So we can just glaze this now. This is the lemon and green pepper oil-based marinade. See how easy this goes on. It's a high quality product, this. Just get it all the way around. Nice and easy. You can see how quick this is. And just take our jar of applesauce. And what I like to do is, with a spoon, pull some out. We're just going to run a thin bead all the way down. And this is just for garnish, you know. Obviously I'm trying to sell these to the general public. I want to make them look as nice as possible. So you can skip this step. You could add this on the inside if you wanted. Add that in with the sausage meat. Just like that. And then finally, for decoration, I just like to take a couple of sprigs of thyme and just run those down the outside of the pork fillet. And there you have it. Easy as that. Hopefully you can see that well. One hog roast stuffed pork fillet. So there you go. That's how I like to do my stuffed pork fillet. Hope you can see me there. With the sage and red onion sausage meat. You can see them there. They look rather attractive. Stuffed pork fillets are so versatile. I mean, I've got probably about 20 varieties that I do here. More than happy to show some of those on camera, which I probably will. Might be after Christmas now. But hopefully it's given you something to think about. You'd like to give it a go yourself, please do. It's a cheap meal, really tasty and very nutritious as well. So thank you for sticking with us this long, and I'll hopefully see you on the next one.